Hello golfers, I'm Greg Jones, Greg the Golf Guy. And man, have I got some exciting stuff for you today. This guy right here, this is the NitroSwing Trainer. Great piece of equipment and exclusive to the Greg Jones Golf Academy. What I want to do is I want to ask you guys a couple questions. Name three things that you want as a golfer. Well, the number one thing that's always named is I want to be more consistent. The number two thing is I want better direction. And the number three thing is I want more distance. Now I know, for those of you guys who say about distance, you'd like to have more distance now. But if we're inconsistent and we don't have direction, then we're just hitting the ball further out of bounds. So let's talk about the consistency, let's talk about the direction control, and let's talk about the distance. Let's see how this machine works and how it'll help us achieve those goals. All right, golfers, here comes the exciting part. We're going to start working on the NitroSwing Trainer. And we're going to talk about, of course, consistency. What I want you to do is I want you to understand, when we talked about consistency a minute ago, we talked about a lot of different things. I can't cover all of those things on the machine today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover three of the most important things that we all need. Number one, we need better tempo. Number two, we've got to stop casting the club from the top and losing all of our power. And number three, we've got to get better plane angles. So what I'm going to do is step up here, I'm going to make some swings so that you can see how this is going to help us with our tempo. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to address the ball. Now I want you to understand there's a lot of tension on this string right now. There's a lot of tension coming from this machine, and that tension, that resistance, is going to make me have more control. So when I'm at the address position, I'm going to push the club back. Push means left side, and I'm going to get it where it's across from the right shoulder, or the finish of the backswing, or the placement of the follow-through, what I like to call it. I'm going to do that motion several times under control. I'm just working on the backswing. I'm not even talking about the follow-through. I'm just working on the backswing, trying to get the tempo of the backswing. Now what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we understand that I want to not only have tempo on the backswing, the takeaway, but I've got to have tempo on the follow-through. And when we don't have that tempo on the follow-through, what most of us do is we do the famous casting. How does this machine help us train to stop casting? Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to get ready in impact position. I'm going to take my backswing, and instead of moving my arms at all, I'm simply going to drop my right shoulder and move my left hip out until this right arm is parallel to the ground. This is going to create lag. This motion to create lag means this is when I want to swing the club. When? Right now. Right there is when I want to swing the club. So you hear this click. If we hear the click up here, that means we cast the club. And I want to hear the click only down here through my hitting area. So what this is allowing me to do is this machine is allowing me to keep my tempo, and it's also allowing me to work on stop casting the golf ball. Lastly, what we're talking about is actually the plane angle of the swing. And the plane angle, if we get this club out of plane, we're not going to be as efficient or as effective when it comes to consistency of hit and distance. So the plane angle means this. When we're at address position, we need to bring this club down. And if you see this shaft right here and the rope, they're in line with each other. As I bring that club down and get into this position, if I took the golf club and I put back, you can see again that they're in line with each other. That's the plane angle of the golf club. That means the club is on plane, it's swinging square back to our target, and the target, of course, is our ball. What most golfers have a tendency to do, if they do not cast, if they come down into this position and they're ready to swing, watch what the club that would go out this way, watch what the handle does. You see where it's going? It's going outside the line. This is with the line, and I come down this way. Now, training with this piece of equipment, doing this exercise over and over and over and over and over again, is going to make this motion habit for me. This motion, as opposed to that motion, this is what I want. All right, golfers, now that we've talked about consistency, let's talk a little bit more about direction control. This board has a substance on it that traces lines. And what does that mean? This grip right here has lasers on both sides so that we can actually see what the backswing is doing to keep us on plane and actually see what the follow-through is doing keeps on playing. But the other cool thing is right here on the end of this handle is a line splitter. And that line splitter is going to make us have a little line with the laser, so that not only can we see the path of it, but we can see exactly how that line is angled. And that line, of course, is going to represent our club face. So when we're at a dress position, we're going to be able to see a line on the board. We're going to see how we want to take the club away by viewing the line, see if the club was on plane by seeing the line come out of the butt end of the club onto the board. And when we come back to the shot, making sure that this club is on plane. And when we bring the actual club back, being able to see that the face angle is square to the ball, swinging in to out versus out to in, rather in to out. So now we're ready for the fun stuff. This NitroSwing Trainer is going to help us increase our distance. And the one thing that we think of when we go golfing, in order to hit the ball further, what do we got to do? We got to swing harder. Everybody knows that swinging harder isn't going to work. So what we really have to do is we have to increase our strength. We have to increase our abilities. And there's really only one way to increase your strength is by working the exact muscles that control the golf swing. And you have to work those exact muscles as you're actually swinging a golf club. And that's what this NitroSwing Trainer does. All this stuff right here, these are nitro springs. This right here can make this machine resistance heavier or lighter. So it depends on what you as an individual need. And as we continue to get stronger, we continue to make this heavier so that we can have more resistance, building those muscles faster, 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 faster. The problem is what happens is when you use heavy weight, we all know that you got to make it go slow. When we use lightweight, we can make it go faster. So if we build the muscles under heavy weight, making them go slow, all we've got is stronger, slow muscles. That's the cool thing about the NitroSwing Trainer. This guy right here, we're going to build those muscles using heavy weight under fast conditions. Fast reps, fast reps, fast reps, fast reps. We're putting the effort in to be able to build these muscles. Let me kind of demonstrate a couple swings. I'm going to bring the club down to the impact. And what I've done is I've increased the weight on this considerably. So watch. I'm swinging that about as hard as I possibly can. I'm working my core, I'm working my shoulders, I'm working my triceps, I'm working my lats, I'm working all the muscles, my legs, I can feel that going right up my leg. I'm working all the muscles necessary that are going to build strength so I can swing this club faster, so I can hit it further and be more consistent. What I want to do is I want to increase your strength considerably with the golf swing and then begin to swing easier than we ever have before, so that we're much more consistent than we ever have before. But swinging easier is going to be faster than you've ever swung before because you've worked on the muscles, you've conditioned the muscles to be stronger and faster. And that's what this NitroSwing Trainer does.